Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the Manila Masters 2017 Southeast Asian Qualifiers. I know it says China up there, but don't worry, we're going to get that sorted in the very near future, I promise. But it's Fnatic facing off against GeekFam. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Tsunami. Tsunami, I've been up for a little while, so I might slur my words from time to time. But how you doing?
Was it because you were going to say it's Fnatic against Velo?
That's true. You know what? Thanks for saving the day. That's what I was gonna say. Definitely.
Right.
Well, talk to me about that.
I saw the synapses firing, and you were like, "Well, really, the entire team was Velo's Timbersaw because, well, I mean, when you have a hero that cannot be killed by 5 enemy heroes, then really, do you need the rest of your team? Probably not."
Yeah, it was quite strong, definitely, and I would imagine that if the situation gets reversed around and you're looking at a very heavy physical damage team out of Fnatic, which they're already sort of building towards, they might think about banning that Timbersaw. Maybe even second phase with the Monkey King Juggernaut opening? I don't know. What's your thought on that?
Juggernaut fares a lot better than Lifestealer. He's not a strength hero, and he has a ton of magic damage with Blade Fury. Yes, he does have some issues with Omni Slash being mitigated a lot by reactive armor, but I don't think they're going to concern themselves with a Timbersaw ban quite yet. Only if they start doubling down even more on physical damage, which if they do go for a mid PA, then yeah, it's something worth considering, because last game that PA was just anemic. Couldn't do anything in the lane against OD mid. Had to go into the jungle, even with Empower, was still, like, it was doing a good job farming on PA, but, you know, even if you complete items, you need to do something with the items, you need to kill heroes, and that was not happening for PA.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is that I guess for Juggernaut, you can play it a little bit differently, too. You don't have to necessarily go for just, like, the snowball, you take a bunch of fights constantly. It's still Ohio drafting again. Yesterday it was QO, so Fnatic's still trying to find their form in a team with a lot of different personalities and also a lot of high individual skill. But we'll see where they decide to go for. Magnus ban now, as well as the Lina. The Abaddon pick, definitely something that teams have been flirting with a lot recently. They've been taking it more and more often. How much do you like this hero? And he's still one of the ones that we're going to continue to see Midas's on, like we saw at DAC?
Yeah, because he doesn't care about the experience. He cares about the gold. And so the fact that gold got buffed just meant that Midas is an even more prominent pickup on him. Make sure you can get that radiance even faster. If you do maybe not get as many points in Mist Coil, the world will keep spinning. You don't really need that much EXP multiplication. He did get a I don't even really know if you can call it. He got like a slap on the wrist is even almost excessive. 7.05 brought down his strength gain from 2.5 to 2.3. That's nothing. He is still going to be just as popular as ever. You may just see fewer level 25s on him.
That's fair enough, yeah. And it is quite a good level 25 if you can get to it. Stuff is super value. Tinker's,
yeah, I was actually very confused during DAC. I know, like, some Western players are like, dude, no one knows how to play Abaddon correctly in the East. But I don't know if it's like common knowledge, but if you replace an aphotic shield, the old one will explode, and it will always explode for full damage. This is true, like, pre-talent or post-talent. And so every single time I would see an Abaddon hit level 25, they wouldn't really use the aphotic shield to push, which was weird to me. Because, like, with the Octarine core and the cooldown reduction talent, you can just spam aphotic shields, and it's like 500 damage once you have that level 25 talent. But yeah, I don't really know. It seems like most players just prefer him to be more defensively oriented, and seeing as how this game he's going to be going up against a pretty aggressive lineup again with Fnatic, he's probably again going to be a very defensive hero. You'll get a Midas, but you're going to have to TP at other lanes, most likely the mid lane, because OD Astral setup into Primal Spring is immensely irritating to deal with.
Yeah, and it was something that we saw last game too, was OD's ability to set up those ganks. Now you can sometimes play heroes that like can stay outside of range of the Astral, but with Monkey King and the long range initiation and the stun, which granted did get nerfed, it still might allow you to set up with that type of a kill with the OD. I'm curious what GeekFam are going to run there in the mid lane to try and deal with it. you know, interestingly enough, one of the heroes that I felt like did deal somewhat well with OD in the last patch was Invoker, but it feels like with the nerfs to Midas, is he gone? Is he out of here? We not seeing him anymore?
He'll still be around, because even though experience was very important for Invoker, Aghanim Scepter is also very important, and so it's not like he got flat out nerfed like other pure experience Midas getters. Like, I don't really know who would be. I guess some people said Arc Warden, but Arc Warden is also kind of competitively inviable, and he can also benefit from the gold. So you'll still see Invoker. Undying is a hero that I did not think you would see, especially because he didn't get touched in 7.05. But more team fight, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I feel like I've seen Ohio play this a couple of times, but much more likely to be one of the supports. It's kind of a weird support to run too, though. I feel like Fnatic are kind of grasping straws. I guess the one thing that you do have is the combination of Tombstone and Wukong's command. That might be glorious.
Yeah. And I mean,
don't sound convinced at all.
Well, it is glorious, but you basically just turn an area that says "Don't fight here" into a "You better real seriously." I'm saying, like, don't fight here, all right? Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, technically there is some setup potential. And for what it's worth, GeekFam, what they have so far before this Terrorblade are not great at dealing with a Tombstone, Earth Spirit, Crystal Maiden, Abaddon. None of these heroes, except maybe Abaddon, are great at dealing with a Tombstone. And so it's, you know, I never really doubted Fnatic's teamfight potential with their first three heroes. And you slap an Undying on top of that, I don't really know what he's going to be offering in the lane. Because previously we saw the Monkey King, the Lifestealer, and the Warlock tri-laning together. And I mean, that's a pretty intimidating tri-lane, but like, what does Undying offer in any laning situation, be it solo, duo, or trio laning situation? He's just kind of not that effective in any role.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, the K spam can sometimes be a thing, and against Abaddon it could be okay. It's still not great, though. Maybe it is just going to be the dual lane. They go and contest the Terrorblade's farm. That could be a way to go for it, but Viper is the last pick. Teehee throwing out the big guns. And this guy got a couple of changes in the most recent patch. I believe a lot of it was mainly towards his talent. It was
all talent-oriented. Level 10 talent, it went from 150 HP to 175, which, you know, Viper's a hero that likes to tank up, so that's definitely going to be useful. Level 15 was a strength buff or an agility buff. Both of them just got minorly buffed, and then his level 20 talent used to be his level 25. So he used to have +7 armor. Now it's poison attack affects buildings, and that used to be one of his 25s. And then his other 25, which the poison attack affects buildings, is now changed to +20 armor. Damn. So I always thought that was interesting, poison attack affecting buildings, because there's a very short list of heroes that can do spell stuff to towers, and now Viper's been added to that list. But, you know, by the time he hit level 25, you most of the time would prefer whatever the alternative one was, which I don't really remember. But I think it was more DPS on Viper Strike. Right. But regardless, like, he is a somewhat underrated pusher. And I think the hero himself has been somewhat underrated in the competitive scene. I think the talent buffs were just like, hey, you guys forgot about Viper? You guys always complaining about, oh, my mid lane's always getting tri-laned. Well, why not just pick this one hero that does not care about getting tri-laned?
And I'm looking at this too, like, to me this feels like it's such a good game for like a Crimson Guard or something. Like, yeah, last game was a great game for it as well, but if you pair all this together, suddenly Wukong's command is going to end up doing less damage. All the Undying zombies are going to do less. I think that they did change it now. Before, you could blink away when Crimson Guard was active and zombies were on you, but because of the changes to zombies, I think with your talent now, you can't do that anymore with Crimson Guard, but it's still super value as far as damage mitigation goes. And then, like you're talking about, that level 25 on Viper, if he does get to it, 20 armor is ridiculously a lot. Like, he is going to be even harder to take down.
Which I'm curious, actually, how much focus... Because, like, yet again, Fnatic has exceptional team fight. But Terrorblade is an amazing split pusher, and Viper is also a pretty damn good split pusher once you get something like a Dragonlance up and running. And so, I don't really know if GeekFam were going to be trying to mirror the 5-man that they were doing in Game 1 to match what Fnatic were throwing at them, because, yeah, Terrorblade's going to be pretty vulnerable, especially with a Legion Commander last pick. The threat of overwhelming odds just burning through all of your illusions, and then obviously Blink Duel is very difficult to deal with as a Timbersaw. So in that respect, I think Timbersaw will need some protection, but Viper is just going to be so safe that I think, like, if you go for Dragonlance, maybe Desolator. I don't really know if Viper's build Desolator very much these days, but it's an amazing pushing hero, and especially with the armor changes to towers with more enemy heroes or whatever, it like gets buffed. Yeah. It's a buff to split pushers, and I think Viper may start seeing some play in that position.
So the other thing that I just want to mention real quickly before we get too far into this is the matchup of Viper versus OD. We saw last time around, Teehee just had his way with QO constantly. And these are two heroes that like to get really aggressive, I think. Both of the players, Teehee was known throughout the Southeast Asian region as being just an incredibly aggressive mid player. And then likewise QO, we've all seen what this guy does. So I want to see how well he does here, because like Viper, to me, depending upon how you build him, feels like he might be able to find a kill onto OD, particularly if you surprise him with like a couple of extra points in poison attack early, or maybe Nether Toxin can get skilled up and he doesn't anticipate that much damage being dealt to him or something.
Yeah, QO is going to have to adapt to Viper's skill build, because ideally, if Viper wants to play aggressively, you don't really want to have to put too many points in Corrosive Skin. You are mainly interested in just getting more and more damage from Nether Toxin. But, roll in.
Are they going on to him?
It's like it doesn't even slow anymore. It's like it doesn't even slow anymore.
That's so frustrating. That's what the Orb of Venom is for.
Oh, yeah. That got nerfed also.
I mean, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. It gives them more damage. It's a DPS item now. As bottom lane, they're trying to go onto Ohio a little bit. Ned is here.
He has 340 HP on his Terrorblade.
Yeah, he doesn't give a damn. It's all about that effective HP, baby. HP.
Oh man, this Tango is maximum worth. Have you ever seen a Tango heal anyone up to full like this? No, I didn't think so.
That's pretty great.
Oh my god, he has 260 HP.
Alright, so this is the answer to Terrorblade. That being said, Raji is moving down here, and they do find Ohio. They're rolling in. Metamorphosis going to wear off very shortly, but can they get into range, find the kill? Sionix needs to dodge away, but the right click's coming in for Ohio. The slow is not going to be enough, so they won't quite be able to kill him off. And now Febby going on to 10-10. Net needs to be careful, trying to bring him low, and they do find that first blood. Febby making the plays.
This is a very peculiar duel offline. Legion Commander Undying. Which, against a Terrorblade, like, this is terrifying, because you lose all of your HP, and then Ohio's almost certainly going to be maxing out overwhelming odds, which means that if you just if you just think about going next to a creep wave, you will instantly lose all of your HP. And so, he has a stick now on this Terrorblade. That's going to help out quite a bit, but a lot of damage has already been done, as Legion Commander is just doing just fine.
Yeah, I mean, she still is only level 1, which is, a thing that you need to be a little bit careful about.
QO.
Are they actually going to find him? T, they just forced him back. I like the 2 points in Nether Toxin, though. Did he really just deny that? Who needs an Arcane Rune?
That's so good on Viper. All right. Well, he took it. Maybe he didn't know where Earth Spirit was. I don't know. But, all right.
Yeah. So again, they're gonna run into some issues here. I guess the one downside that you do have for Fnatic in this bottom lane is the mana regen is severely lacking. So they need to make the most out of these spells when they get the chance.
You liking this Monkey King up top? Underneath the enemy tower? No fear whatsoever.
Yeah, that needs
Creeps
to be...
won't even aggro him.
That needs to be changed. That definitely needs to be changed.
Like, he got the best transformation. I like to see it be used like this. Madden's just like, dude, what do I do?
Yeah. Vela's going to take some damage here. Trading hits with the Monkey King, not always the best in the world. But if there's a hero that could do it, it's certainly Abaddon. He'll pull back some creep waves, try and pull the lane further into his favor, and likewise, Miracle gonna see if he can stop that from happening. The spin, the chase, Velo in trouble. Does have that shield, but it's not gonna be enough. Not even having the ability to deny, obviously, and he just drops.
Yeah, Abaddon's only level 2. Aphotic Shield's only level 1, which means that only 110 damage absorbed. So you will get killed by a walking Tango, no problem.
In the meantime, Ned has left the bottom lane, wants to farm at least a little bit. This has been okay because, like we said, there's not a ton of mana on the heroes down here, so you can't just spam out waves.
Top lane.
They're going to kill him off. All right, baby.
He's hungry.
This should be a death for them. Finds the kill. Miracle going to die for it, though, so they will pay the price. Not playing Timbersaw this time.
It's a kill out of principle, though. Like, you can't let someone just turn into a tango like that in front of you and not kill them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the meantime, you can see that the CS war severely being won by Teehee, who's just been able to outlane QO each time so far. 23 and 12 to the 10 and 3 of the OD.
And this is with 0 points in corrosive skin, so it's a max aggression build.
Uh-oh. This might end up being a dead net here. He has a couple of illusions. They're trying to deal the most amount of damage possible, but DJ's still chasing. They throw out the Nova, slowed as well, and he's going to make the walk, the long walk here towards the side. There's nobody else coming to help as of yet. Earth Spirit could rotate in, but they're just going to let DJ get away.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was well played by Net. His illusions were blocking out that primal, or the tree dance rather, and so while he would have liked to hop up on a tree and immediately primal string down to finish off the CM, he couldn't get in range. So, well played. CM survives for a little bit, starts jungling again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this is great. You know, you want to get those levels up on the CM as early as possible. In the meantime, you have DJ that's soaking up the experience of Sionix and getting ready to make a play possibly. It's still tough to do this. It's just so much pressure being applied by Febby and Ohio that Terrorblade has to leave the lane.
Yeah, CM does not provide nearly enough lane support to be able to survive this mean dual lane. And they're kind of splitting farm between Febby and Ohio. I guess I'm curious what Febby's first time on this Undying is going to be. If he wants to go defensive, then most often we see the Crimson Guard. But Greaves is also pretty popular. It's I don't know what he's going to go for, actually.
Well, we'll have to watch and see. Raji's coming in as well. There's a lot of heroes in the area for both teams, 3 ready to go. They also have the OD that's actually making the movement down through the jungle. I believe that was spotted as well, so right now GeekFam should realize this. They're still baiting it out for the moment, and it looks like they will stop that pressure.
Top lane, though.
Yeah,
Miracle's going in on Velo.
Trying to take him down. He does have a shield still. Miracle chasing, breaks through the shield, should be able to find the kill. Facebook's actually wearing off as Velo will have another shield in a second here. Battle going on bottom lane. They're able to take it. DJ is actually almost going to drop. He is going to end up falling there. So Velo gets out up in the top lane. Roger now starting to drop low as well. Ohio, they turn now onto Febby with another Frostbite. That should be a dead Undying, I do believe. Close. Right click, they get the kill.
And now Legion Commander might be in trouble as Velo coming in. 2 points in Curse of Avernus.
This is a lot of slow. He also has that shield, can chase pretty much forever now, and there's not a whole hell of a lot that Ohio can do. Gets that extra movement speed there from his Q, but with the roll forward, the kick to follow, maybe his shield going to be popped soon. Goes for the phase boots. Velo needs to get this one, and the shield almost going to take him low, but Velo is going to end up dying because of it. So they die for Ohio. See you later, nerds. He's out of there.
Yeah, this is one of the difficult situations as an Abaddon, because obviously he would have liked to put that A-Fodder shield up earlier on and then have it just explode passively to get that damage, but the cast animation takes forever, and you need to keep perpetually putting this Curse of Avernus onto the enemy units, so tough call, and now Psionics might be in trouble.
10-10 also. Poor Net. Just keeps on... I mean, it's probably good for the best that Febby ended up spotting him there. And going for him instead of killing off the Terrorblade, but nonetheless, still, it feels like Fnatic are the ones that are definitely keeping the aggression on and coming out ahead in the laning stage, with the exception of OD, who's still struggling in the mid.
Yeah, he's struggling quite a bit. Abaddon has had to participate in more fights, so as a result, Miracle has been able to... Oh wow, Miracle used Omni Slash at some point. That must have been what got Velo so low, but it didn't end up in a kill. And now Abaddon is about to hit level 6, so he's going to be fine as this bot lane. It's going to go down for GeekFam.
Yeah, they do have a lot of heroes rotating in, though. The stun connects on the 3, the rolling kick. Oh, it was beautiful by Raji. Ohio is going to fall. I do believe they took down the Monkey King.
Oh my God.
Still running away. The poor man, or rather, just even the Stout Shield procs, but I don't think he's going to be able to create away. Is he actually going to get out of here? They're rolling forward, trying to dodge it. Stun, kick. It's there. Ohio finally falls, but space created.
Yeah, an immense amount of space created. 4 heroes chasing him. But again, it's just buying more time, I guess. Meanwhile, what was Juggernaut up to that whole time? I guess Miracle took down... Or no, he hasn't even taken... What? He's just farming the enemy jungle.
Yeah, he was diving for Velo, but didn't end up connecting onto him, so...
Oh yeah, that was another Omni Slash spent. What the hell?
He keeps on using these and can't find the kills.
Huh. And Velo didn't even have to spend borrowed time, so he's level 6, he has borrowed time up, so he can just gladly go back up to this lane.
So how big of a concern is it that your Terrorblade has not really kept up in the best farm compared to the Juggernaut? Is that a worry at all for you at this point in time?
Well, thankfully Viper is immensely strong in the mid game, and so hopefully he shows up to this top lane defense, as Velo, I guess, just wants to get borrowed time off.
Yeah, I think he was trying to kill off the healing ward, but couldn't quite run it down, and then was put in a precarious spot.
Yeah, so with Viper having as good of a start as he got, he's going to be going for a Drum of Endurance. Wow. Huh. That would not have been my first thought.
He actually just a second ago had the Midas queued up, but changed his mind, I guess.
Alright, well, I mean, Viper obviously benefits from tanking up an attack speed, but I don't know. Everyone stopped building Drum, and everyone also stopped building Helm, which was another item that at the opening stages of 7.0 was fairly popular on Viper, but then again it was fairly popular on like literally everyone, so that's not too surprising. But yeah, Drum will be fine. Anything for him to help alleviate some of the pressure on this Terrorblade, like you said, hasn't gotten the best start. It's going to be up to Viper to make sure that Terrorblade is able to farm uninhibited while the rest of GeekFam creates space.
Yeah. Well, and you can see that it's still very contentious here between the bottom of the pack, and I mean, it's pretty absurd how much space Velo's been able to take up and make sure that the tower hasn't ended up falling as of yet. Like, this tier 1 tower is surviving forever, and meanwhile in the mid lane you have Teehee that can start to apply some pressure himself.
Going in on QO.
Yeah, they want to dive for it. He is in some trouble. They get the press the attack off. Ohio keeping his buddy alive, and that does force back the rest of GeekFam.
Wow, and they put up a tombstone.
Top lane, Miracle trying to take down Velo. He's not going to get it off, though. He wanted to go for that Omni Slash, but couldn't quite make the play and connect, and they kill off Miracle instead of losing Velo.
Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden on the chase of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
They really want to give the duel to Ohio.
Yeah. Well, that hurts.
They had to spend a tombstone for it, which ended up the zombie didn't connect because it didn't even spawn fast enough. With, I guess, 3 points in tombstone are not enough. Crystal Maiden can even outrun it, but one duel victory for a Legion Commander. It's nice, but you definitely did not want to have to lose your Juggernaut as Miracle, getting a little bit too aggressive against Velo.
Yeah. So Viper, now level 10, has that talent up, so 175 extra health. We were talking about that one before. Has gone for the maxed out poison attack and maxing nether toxin next, so just a lot of damage for Teehee in this game. Will be, I guess, trying to mount an assault soon towards the... I mean, which of these towers do you try and focus if you're GeekFam?
Probably the mid tower. The top safe lane tower for Fnatic is already at full HP. Velo just did his job. I mean, obviously pushing the tower is a bit excessive. You just want to be able to survive, but being able to relinquish some mid control from Fnatic's hands makes this Legion Commander a little bit more scared. It's a lot easier jungle access for GeekFam, and Viper can very easily contest a Legion Commander, so as long as Viper's frontlining, make sure that Terrorblade is just staying safe in his jungle, then Fnatic will start losing some map control.
This is scary. You have the Blink Dagger done on Legion Commander. He's thinking about diving in for this one. Instead, finds Raji, so that Earth Spirit is going to pop here. They even dropped the Sanity's Eclipse to ensure the dual damage. Maybe a bit overkill.
Yeah, it's only a level 6 duel, so 10 damage a pop. I guess every little bit helps. And it's unlikely that Fnatic feel like taking any more team fights right now. It doesn't look like GeekFam are ready to push without this Terrorblade having any major items completed yet. He's working on his Manta style right now, but doesn't have any parts finished yet, so just kind of sieging as little as they can. Might spend Metamorphosis mid now.
Yeah, it's a tough call. They do have a lot of heroes here. Velo's still pushing along the top lane and trying to cut the creep wave to finish off that Vlad's. But the call is coming, going for QO. Teehee again, gonna be forced back. Miracle ready to party as well. Doesn't have that level 2 Omni Slash yet. But they're gonna start moving up towards Velo here.
Yeah, I like how Juggernaut TP's mid and then immediately sprints up to the top lane. Velo has borrowed time, so he's not, again, too concerned because Fnatic kind of has the same issue that they had last game. They don't really have very many good stuns. So Velo is just kind of running.
Yeah, this is a problem. They are bringing and creating a lot of space here, but with 4 heroes chasing them, seems unlikely that Velo is going to be able to survive this. And they're not even able to actually punish by taking the mid-tier 1 tower either. So this is a pretty big moment there for Fnatic. I feel like they needed that one.
Yeah, and GeekFam has a Radiant Ward, so they have vision of this. Drum activated. You need to kill that healing ward, though.
Yeah, Miracle is going to survive through it pretty well if they're not careful. Meanwhile, on the backlines, Monkey King just goes in for the battle. Might end up paying the price for it as wasn't able to finish off Raji.
Was doing a good job of discouraging the 2 supports, Earth Spirit and Crystal Maiden, from helping the Viper out, but yeah, gave his life up in exchange. And mid-tower actually ends up going down for GeekFam first, as Tencent does not have enough mana to slow down this OD.
Well, Teehee wanted to chase, but can't quite do it. And finally, the tier 1 tower is going to go down top as well. So Fnatic, they're the ones taking objectives. They're the ones that are pressuring down these lanes, and they're the ones that are going to be building up a lead. It's almost towards the 3,000 mark here, and I'm struggling to see an answer from GeekFam.
Yeah, seeing as how Viper built this drum first, I would have thought that it would have been more 4 Protect 1 style, where the CM, the Earth Spirit, the Viper, and the Abaddon just started marching down lanes, and they kind of assume that the Terrorblade's going to be protected himself. They might go on Miracle, but he's going to just TP out. So, yeah, the drum first build is not really working out for Viper. He has his Dragonlance completed once he finishes off this last Ancient, and then hopefully they'll start sieging some towers, but now Terrorblade, I mean, he has his Yasha completed, so I guess they can just 5-man as opposed to 4-man.
Yeah, and that might have been like the overall game plan, was you wait until you get like that first big item, although, oh god, Sionix, he's in trouble. He's going to end up dropping here again. They have a big stun that comes out, connects onto 2, onto 3. The Sunder is there. They silence up QO. He's going to drop. Oh, the turnaround was tremendous. Raji saving the day. They take down the Tombstone as well. The CM ulti, it's destroyed all of them. DJ to fall as well. Oh, baby, GeekFam, they did it. Oh, it was beautiful. The full wipe.
Yeah, Viper, meanwhile, solo kills Juggernaut in the mid lane 1v1 cage match. What an Earth Spirit Boulder Smash, my god. That was, that Terrorblade basically felt like he had a shallow grave on him, but last second gets the Sunder off onto the OD, had Metamorphosis locked and loaded, immediately went in, and the lack of stuns is not only an issue for stopping the aggression of GeekFam, but it also means that you have nothing to easily cancel this freezing field from CM. 10-10 gets so much damage during that team fight.
And look at that graph, the swing back up. It's just, I mean, that's what happens when you kill 5 and don't lose a damn thing for it.
True, true.
Ugh. I have like almost this slight, the fear deep in my heart of when DJ gets this basher up, that it all falls apart. But GeekFam is definitely feeling like they're in a much better position now.
Yeah, at least Viper will be pretty good at dealing with a Wukong's command. He's been tanking up, has that Dragonlance completed, which in addition to giving you a bonus range, it does also tank a Viper up. What do you go for next as a Viper, though? Because I don't think he needs to go for damage. Terrorblade is dealing more than enough damage for their team. Viper just needs to make sure that the rest of Fnatic are either getting kited around by Viper Strike. In fact, actually, Aghanim's Scepter might not be too bad for Viper this game, because Juggernaut's very dependent on attack speed, OD's dependent on attack speed, Legion Commanders are dependent on attack speed. The only issue is you may have some mana issues, but I guess with Arcane Aura you may be okay.
Maybe you go the major throwback, you pick up the mechanism. I mean, he has the mana for it with the drums and the power treads.
Yeah, that's true. full Greaves would be pretty worthwhile, as we saw in that previous fight. The GeekFam was getting fairly low, but there just wasn't any follow-up damage after the teamfight ultimates of like Sanity's Eclipse, and overwhelming odds were spent by Fnatic, so GeekFam ended up surviving, and then you put a Greaves on top of that, that means that you can start pushing very confidently after that as well.
Well, here comes another duel. Raji going to be the one that ends up falling, and this is always the scary part about this type of game, is Legion Commander building up that duel damage up to 44 at this stage. Ohio could become a problem.
Yeah, thankfully the targets are on just supports, so not really. It's most of the time a guaranteed kill, Legion Commander +1 on any of GeekFam's targets except possibly the Abaddon and the Viper. But ideally they want to be finding the Terrorblade, and now it looks like they want to go for Siege on this. Terrorblade has Manta Style and Metamorphosis, and Viper is also ready to go.
I mean, you also have at this point the Vlad's done too. This feels like it's quite good. Oh, they get this counter up again. Raji with the big plays. They silence before QO can do anything. Magnetize is now down onto 3 heroes. They're going to kill off that Tombstone. Borrow time has already been enabled. Now QO being ran down. He's in trouble. He's going to die. DJ trying to get out of there. Another combo. Oh my God, Raji is just putting the team on his back. The Earth Spirit player. Who said that this guy got nerfed? What the hell?
Why does Ice Frog keep nerfing Earth Spirit? He's not that bad anymore.
He is still ridiculous. Look at that.
This is pure player skill. If you are complaining about Earth Spirit's nerfs, let this be a testament that it really doesn't matter how many times you nerf him. The hero, he only has 1 point in Rolling Boulder, and that was the spell that got nerfed. And guess what? You only need 1 point.
Yeah, it's enabling the rest of his kit. That's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Now we do have
Velo is enabling the rest of his team yet again in that fight. We saw him playing Timbersaw style, while he was just frontline sieging. Terrorblade was taking care of the Tombstone in the back, while Velo was just like, "Hey guys, remember me from last game, the unkillable target? Well, I'm back, except this time I'm riding a horse."
Kyo there almost got the courier, but the speed boost away meant that they weren't able to catch. Oh, it feels rough right now for Fnatic. Like, they lose game number 1 in pretty dominant fashion by GeekFam, and game number 2, like, you now have a Blink Dagger done on the Earth Spirit. He has 3 deaths and 11 assists. He's been having a hell of a game.
Yeah, Rocketgate's definitely MVP status right now, but the rest of GeekFam are keeping the pace as well. It looks like Viper's going to be going for a Manta Style, or, I mean, he may just keep it as a casual Yasha. I don't really think Sanjin Yasha is that great on Viper, but again, like, I haven't seen this hero in competitive in ages, so anything is possible. But anything that emphasizes mid-game dominance is what's most important, as they're going to go for yet another siege on this bot tier 2.
And Teehee, maybe not the guy that you want to go on here. They're going to pop the drums, start to get the chase on. The Boundless Strike a little bit off the mark. The stun only connects onto 1. It's there for Febby. Wukong's command off to the side. They try and duel Teehee. Don't think it's going to be enough. Is it there? Oh, the Sunder! Sionix saving his buddy. Another CM ulti off to the side, but it's going to take him down nonetheless. And now Miracle in a little bit of trouble. The stone connects right on the tip as they kill off the Tombstone. And Velo going to continue the chase. Raji has another stone up. Does he have the roll? Can he get there in time? He does have that roll now. Runs into Febby. You take him down. Miracle, you do not want to stick around any longer. Everybody's dead yet again. DJ can only look on in dismay as he can't help but the rest of his team.
I see the logic between dueling the Viper, seeing as how Legion Commander had a Blade Mail, but that's still, like, there are much better targets to go for, because, I mean, aside from that godlike Sunder play, the fact that they didn't need the Terrorblade just goes to show, as now Monkey King gets a kill on the Crystal Maiden.
No. Easy solo, it's fine.
I mean, whatever, it's just Monkey King things. Yeah, but the fact that they didn't need the Terrorblade to deal any damage in that fight just goes to show how far ahead GeekFam are right now, and how dominant a Viper is with just a Dragonlance and Drum and freaking 5k gold in the bank. He's going in solo. Okay, now this may be a little bit...
Well,
oh god, the Astral. There's no stun!
Oh, alright, this is a throw. That's a throw. Don't do that thing. That thing you did, don't do it. Don't do it again.
Well, at least he spent his gold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Originally sitting on 5k gold completes out the Yasha, but yeah, another dual victory. Legion Commander on 58. But hey, I guess that just means that
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
she may go for some over-aggressive duels again as we go for number 3 Siege on the bot lane.
I mean, you got to give them the persistence award. Sure. Like, they're keeping it up. They want to party. But the question is, are they going to be able to take this? This time, Viper is down.
Yeah, Viper dying means that they can take it. Otherwise, I am almost certain GeekFam would have not hesitated twice to go back in, because Sanity's Eclipse is still down from the previous fight. Wukong's command only just now came up, so they could have gone for another defense, but yeah, Viper needs to be careful.
I mean, the other thing, though, too, is that it's so good for Fnatic, because you're taking an objective during the timeline when GeekFam have Roshan, or have Aegis. So the fact that they're able to get that, super value. They just need to make sure that they can defend this next round of pushes, and it's going to be tough because you have that Solar Crest now completed on Velo as well. On top of the Vlads, they're all about pushing, and I'm finding it hard to figure out what Fnatic's game plan is going to be here.
Yeah, they'll basically need to continue getting picks. Viper kind of picked himself there, but Fnatic has a really good lineup at getting snipes on targets that are isolated. They don't have the best vision right now. In fact, they don't really have very much. They just have one ward in the Radiant jungle for Fnatic. So it's kind of difficult for them to find picks, but if they get just one target, ideally either the Terrorblade or the Viper, then they can very easily transition that into pushes. But they need to defend this mid-tier 2, because it's almost definitely going to turn into a mid-tier 3, because they still have Aegis on GeekFam.
And you have DJ up on the high ground trying to scout things out, but they don't really have a great answer to it. The only thing that you can say that's going well is Ohio pushes the creep wave into the tower, but now you're pushing up towards high ground. Metamorphosis has already been used. They do blink away for Ohio, realizing that he could have potentially gone down there, but they don't have an answer for this. Like the roll away, they're trying to chase, taking down Febby. He's in trouble. They kill him with right clicks from a low ground. Courier is going to drop as well. It's going from bad to worse. The only plus side is you do have this Hurricane Pike now, which does a tremendous amount of work against Velo. A couple of misses.
The fact that he missed 2 of the 4 attacks, but now He just does not. He's so tanky.
Kiwo gone on again, taken down. The Earth Spirit setting it all up. Ohio just has to run away here as Miracle getting chased down. Velo's borrow time has already been popped, but they're going to focus their energy back towards this tier 3 tower. They don't have a creep wave that's going to be coming in very shortly. But this is feeling from bad to even worse as the first lane of barracks is going to be going down.
Metamorphosis is timed out, and Legion Commander's been sitting on duel for quite a while. And Juggernaut has Omni Slash, so they can go.
He just finished Scotty on Terrorblade as well. He still has the Aegis. They have to find a different target besides Sionix here. And yeah,
that's why he's the one showing himself most prominently. Puts out the reflection. Doesn't catch the Legion Commander, but she just can't go in and duel by herself. So GeekFam get out, and they're going to take a Shrine uncontested. And even though Aegis was not claimed, the Aegis did its job. It's just discouraging Fnatic from going in on Terrorblade.
Yeah, very well played. And now, if you're Fnatic, we've talked about the need to try and go for split pushing around the map and then afterwards finding pickoffs. Do you need to think about investing into Shadow Blades at this stage, or I guess Ohio went back for the Deso, so they just want to go for taking down towers and pushing out lanes across the map.
Yeah, the problem is that no one hero Fnatic can get a kill on any one hero of GeekFam. I mean, I guess, in like a grand scheme of things, yes, technically, Legion Commander can solo out the Earth Spirit and the Crystal Maiden, but there's no real situation in which CM and Earth Spirit are going to be solo by themselves anymore. And so your initiation chances are going to be dependent on your whole team following up on a blink duel. And so they're going to smoke up. Again, it's the tankiest and hardest to kill targets that are showing themselves.
Oh, nope, there's Net. You don't want to be there, buddy. And Teehee is actually going to get jumped on right at the start. Do we have another Sunder at the last second? No, they're just going to let him die here. But the CM ulti from the low ground doing a lot of damage. They couldn't bring him down. QO staying barely alive in this one as Velo chases. They barely able to keep the QO OD alive. And it looks like with that Aegis expiring, you got to be a little bit careful for GeekFam. They ended up trading 2 for 1, but they took down the Viper.
You don't need to be too careful. This Terrorblade is immensely large. He survived an overwhelming odds. He survived a Sanity's Eclipse. Aegis has been reclaimed. I don't think they can fully take this tier 3, seeing as how Juggernaut, the 2 cores of Fnatic are still up, but they should be able to get some good damage, hopefully.
Reflection, they turn to fight Velo. They pop the blade mail as well, and QO just going to eliminate
nice
himself
Astral.
honestly on that one. The silence on a Miracle, chasing for more. Raji wants to find this. Velo gonna chase him down, almost gonna find that kill. They've already killed off QO, has to buy back now into this one. And Velo finds the kill on Miracle with the Aphotic Shield. Great play from him. DJ now and Febby in some trouble. QO is there, but they're just gonna get Glimmer Caped as well as the blade mail. He just walks away from him. Doesn't give a damn.
Viper ever so slowly coming back to the fight right now. Metamorphosis is down though, so most likely GeekFam, you have to be content with that. Like, I mean, I guess they got a buyback out of the OD. Wow, they really want it. Oh my god.
That was a big press the attack. They turn now onto Sionix. Don't know if they're going to be able to kill him off. He's so low. They have Sunder afterwards, but no, they are going to kill off that Terrorblade. Now diving for more. Febby is going to get ran at now by Velo. Borrow time was back up. They kill off QO though. That's going to be 4 dead. Fnatic do not have the answers here as DJ, the 5th to fall. And they were going to come back for more, but I don't know if they can really stop it at this point. There isn't an opening here.
Viper is so difficult to kill now. I need to be a little bit careful. Juggernaut's coming back. He doesn't have Omni Slash. He'll have it in 5 seconds though.
Hell, chasing.
Oh, come on.
Careful. They have a Blink stun with Earth Spirit. Oh, he doesn't have Remnants. He needs 3 more seconds. He's going to jump in a second here, maybe. Thinking about it. Velo, borrow time is there. There's the Blink. There's the drop of the stone. No, they get the Omni Slash turnaround. Okay. Silence. They get the stun follow-up. Ohio turns to battle. Is going to be able to get DK down. And GeekFam is stuck around for a little bit too long now as they end up losing 3.
I have no pity for GeekFam in that situation. There was no reason to stay that long. Like, yes, technically you could have gotten a Rax, but that was, I guess, 3 sets of respawns almost from Team Fnatic, whereas GeekFam, they were just, I guess they just had the Viper rotate in after he died, like way back when, if you can remember that. But he marched his way back to the top lane. They took the tier 3, that was good enough. I guess it could have gone worse, but Fnatic are not in good shape regardless of how many return kills they got.
No, it's true. I mean, we just brought up the net worth graph. It's almost 20,000 experience and net worth. Levels-wise and big talents that we're hitting, it's actually Abaddon who's up at the top of it, has that cooldown reduction, which is quite value, and Miracle...
DJ gets the kill on Crystal Maiden, but that's, as we've said before.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to catch up to Miracle. He does have that high movement speed, so things looking okay, actually, as they might go in on this. If they could find a couple pickoffs.
He has Metamorphosis, and Viper's kind of deciding where to go. He's going to TP to the top shrine, so... Yeah, unfortunately, it's a late Roche for Fnatic. They just have not been getting good luck with these Roche respawns, and now Velo's going to find everyone.
I mean... Yeah, and they actually don't want to go on him either. The borrow time is still there. He also is 600 gold for Magnum Scepter, which is terrifying. It's so scary.
I love this guy's playstyle. I haven't seen too much Velo before, but this is, like, his Timber Saw was exceptional. His Abaddon is just no fear whatsoever. It's very entertaining to watch.
Oh. I think that he caught a lot of heat when he was playing for MVP Phoenix because basically all he did was play Timbersaw. But he's been practicing, he's been studying up. I believe it was in like January. It was around the Boston Major time. So putting in work and now showing it off. QO gone on, going to get 4-staffed away, but it doesn't matter. He's still down. Jump forward duel, try and take down Sionix. Can they find the kill though? I don't think so. They popped the blade mail. He's going to be able to walk away from that. Borrow time popped and it looks like Ohio is going to end up falling. They get the Sunder. Miracle's gone. Triple kill for Teehee, and good game well played is called as Fnatic fall again to the lower bracket Manila Masters qualifiers.
Another solid draft from GeekFam. The Viper 5th pick, or either 5th pick or 4th pick. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I think it was 5th pick. But regardless, another mid matchup, heavily in the favor of GeekFam, and very seamlessly transitioned into mid game and late game dominance. Miracle's Juggernaut just was not able to get anything done whatsoever. Every single time he joined into a fight, he either got sundered or he got Viper striked, and your one position needs to be more relevant. GeekFam, I can definitely see why they did fairly well in the Kiev regional qualifiers. I can see why they knocked out Faceless and Summit 7 SEA qualifiers, and I would not be surprised if they take the SEA invite for Manila Masters. Absolutely.
It's a really strong team, and I mean, you look through the names, and it's not anybody that, unless you're paying attention, you would really... and paying like really close attention, would you know the names? So like Teehee at various points has been like one of the best players on the team that he's been a part of. He was one of the original founding members of TNC. You have Sionix as well as Raji, who were previously on Orange Terrain, and I felt like they were the strongest parts of that team at various points. Net, he obviously came from Fnatic before and was one of the more underrated players there. And then Velo, the Australian guy who, played for MVP Phoenix, and they've been doing a great job of it. I'm really impressed with their play so far, and I'm excited to see more of them. Tsunami, I mean, it might be a little bit baiting of a question, but how are you feeling about this Fnatic team? Like, the skill is clearly there, but what do you think it is that maybe they need to work on at this point?
I'd say in both of these games, there were definitely draft victories. Like you said, the individual skill is there, and seeing as how they've been kind of rotating through different drafters, drafting is one of the, like, it's very difficult to quantify like what is a good drafter, what is a bad drafter. Whenever you have like tier 1 teams, you're like, well, everyone's so good, so I mean, like, how do you really edge someone out? Is it because of some different strategy, or you just got your lanes really well? A large percentage of that comes to how competent your drafter is. And between that, I don't know who their shot caller is. I wouldn't really say there were that many bad shots called during this series, but all of it plays a factor. And if you're lacking in one department like that, in a strong leader, then the rest of your team can't perform to their highest capabilities. So it's difficult to say moving forward, like, what the best way to develop a leader is, but I would say that's Fnatic's biggest issue right now.
All right, well, we'll see if they can solve those issues. Still more games to play in these qualifiers, the Manila Masters Southeast Asian. There's a hell of a lot of teams in it, but Fnatic will drop down to the lower bracket now, where maybe they're going to end up coming out ahead. But GeekFam moving forward. They're in the winners round number 3, one step away from the winner's final. And then, of course, the grand finals. Would love to be able to make it to a big international LAN. Would mean a lot to them, I'm sure. But stay tuned, because this is going to continue.
On turf.
I know,
exactly.
Right? It would be amazing.
It would be.
But yeah, any final words, Tsunami? Are we going to call this one off?
No, I'd say that's it. I'm looking forward to more 7.05. I hope we see a bigger shift in competitive heroes, but either way, another patch before Kiev, and this is all showing us what the meta will be as we enter Kiev in just a few weeks.
All right, well, stay tuned for more Manila Masters, everybody. I believe that also Summit 7 qualifiers are going to continue over the next couple of days. There's a lot of great Dota as we get ready for Kiev and get ready for, eventually as well, TI. Oh, my goodness gracious. I can't even believe it. It's so soon. It feels like it was just the other day. We were looking at TI6 and Muppets on the stage. It's craziness.
Good times.
But, yeah, we'll be back again. See you guys next time for more Dota 2 action.